Hey, what's up, guys? It's Breakout Bag Lunch, and this is the second day of me doing backtesting on Thinkorswim. We actually had some great results today. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing right now. Now, if you go over to the monitor tab, you will see that we're looking at a daily profit of $1,245. That brings the total in the semi-account to $52,012.50. So if I had actually done this trading on a prop firm account, I would be close to passing the eval, which is reassuring to know. And the nice thing is that I was able to secure this profit with only 2 trades that you see on the screen. We're going to go over these trades, my thoughts behind them, and we're going to do another retrospective and a little bit more back testing. All right, the setup for today was very bullish. I'll just start with that. We had Micron earnings out yesterday, and those greatly exceeded analyst expectations. We also had CPI report that came in much cooler than expected at 2.7 to 2.6%. And so those two factors have caused a rally. I don't tend to focus too much on fundamentals. I just prefer to focus on the price action and what I see on the charts. But it's always good to have a little bit of background information when you go into a trading day. All right, with that out of the way, let's review the trades. I'm going to start with the gold trade. Now I have this green horizontal area here that represents a demand zone. I identified this on the 30-minute chart. As you can see, we're kind of bouncing off of this level. And if you go down to the 1-minute chart, you will also see that we had a bullish engulfing candle right here at this demand zone. And once we had a break of this bullish candle here, that was my sign to get into a long trade. I wish I really got in right when this was breaking out, because right after this green candle on the 1-minute chart was printed, we had a big bearish candle. In fact, this is a bearish engulfing candle. So I was getting a little worried, but it's important to keep in mind that it's just a 1-minute chart. 1-minute charts can be pretty noisy, and you can't take every signal that you see from them. With that in mind, I decided to stick with the trade, and my profit target was around here, which is where I sold. I was basically looking for a 50% retracement of this move down. The trend was bearish during the beginning of the New York session, so I didn't want to hold on to longs for too long. I was thinking, at the very least, since we had a bullish reaction at the demand zone, that we would get a temporary bullish follow through, which we did. And in fact, gold is actually at a record high. Just imagine if I held those longs. Ugh, that would have been great. But that's okay. I stuck to the process, and the process worked out in my favor. I was actually looking for possible short entry. I was thinking that we could get a retest, a bearish retest at this 50% area, 61.8% area. By the way, these are the two areas I look at for Fibonacci retracements. I don't have the others drawn here because I don't look at them. But anyway, we really didn't get a sort of rejection in this area. Really what you want to see is like some sort of like an inverted hammer or like a big red bearish candle. We didn't get any of that, so I did not take a short entry here on gold. It's interesting to note that there was actually the same setup here on ES. Of course, these are two different charts, but notice here how he had this bullish reaction from this demand zone. We had this hammer candle. We did have another inverted hammer, but then we had this candle here that took out the high of the highs of the previous two candles. Yeah, this would have been another great long entry for me. Now, of course, it's not necessary to take all trades, but it's good to do a little bit of a retrospective to see how things could have played out. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the ES trade. We did get got a bearish move down just like in gold, and a move up. Well, actually, we had a move down, a little move up, move down, a move up, and move down and move up. We were kind of going sideways. My idea here was if we had a break below this demand zone, I want to see this demand zone become a supply zone. So I would have waited for this to break, and then I would have waited for a move up, a retest, and I would have gotten in shorts if we had a bearish price action in this area for a move down. For a long entry, yeah, I was really looking for a break and retest of the high of the 5-minute opening range to see if we can get a little bounce up. I do have this red area here that represents a supply zone. So I wasn't looking for a huge move up, but my plan was that if we had a break and retest of the high of the 5-minute opening range, the price could go higher. Actually, I was looking for a break and retest for a move lower here, just like with gold, but we didn't really get that kind of price action. And notice here how we have a break above the 61.6 50% area with bullish price action. We had another break below, and we did have a move up, but this is three very bullish candles. Notice how they don't even overlap. This is a very bullish candlestick pattern, so you wouldn't want to short here. But I did take a trade on a break and retest of this 5-minute opening range. We had a nice break here. We had a candle a close above the high of the 5-minute opening range, and we had this retest here, this hammer candle. That was my time to get into a long entry, which I took. We had a really nice clean move up, and I sold right around here at the 6866 level, which was a good decision in retrospect. Now, you can see that there's another potential trade I could have taken here. By the time I took this trade, I was done with the trading day. But notice how we touched this demand zone, and we just had a rejection from it. We had two touches, and then with the second touch, it was like a very strong bearish reaction. This candle here would have been my signal to get into shorts, and it would have paid off very well. But that's okay. There's no need to take every trade. It's just something to keep in mind and something nice to know. And this also helps with training and building reps and becoming a better trader. All right, I think that's it for today. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to actually trade on the Topstep. Yeah, that's the plan, trading on Topstep. This time, I'm just going to use mini contract and stick to my process. I developed a checklist for my trades that I will share that I'm using to be more structured with my strategy execution. I'm going to apply that to the trading I do on a Topstep Combine. I do think that I should be able to pass the Topstep Combine at this point. And it's probably just a better use of time if I just go with a larger size for the Combine, but size down once I actually pass the Combine and get a funded account, just so it's not taking a super long time for me to actually get through the first phase. Of course, I could run into the bad luck even with a perfect execution of my strategy, But I'm okay with burning a few combines if I know I have an edge that I can use to eventually pass. Well, what are your thoughts? Please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or useful, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Otherwise, have an amazing day. Bye.